You need to exit and go to choir rehearsal for those of you that didn't hear the announcement. Okay, students, settle in. We have a visitor here today that we are going to be on our best behavior. Teachers, I love all the pink. Teachers, you're free to exit if you would like to, or you're welcome to stay. The first thing I want to do is introduce this morning and celebrate our Student of the Month for each grade. This month we celebrate creators. So the 6th grade nomination was for Evangeline French. Evangeline has created her own bracelet business with a few of her friends. She was very creative. She was very creative in coming up with her business idea and how to implement their sales. I love her entrepreneur spirit, and that she has an idea which actually she brought to fruition. Congratulations, Evangeline. 7th graders, Addison Luttrell and Elliot Locke. Addison is one of the most creative students I know. They are constantly looking at all things in new ways, and they are always showing their learning by putting their own spin on it. I enjoy watching Luttrell work and seeing what they come up with or how they represent their thinking and learning. Elliot is such a creative individual. Every assignment they submit has this creative flair to it that makes anything and everything they complete better. Their creative thinking in the way they approach aspects of their life makes it so fun to watch them as they grow as a student and a person. In 8th grade, Piper Penalto. Piper is such an amazing and creative person. She thinks outside the box in her everyday work and sees things in such a creative light. I am looking forward to seeing her passion and creativity come to fruition as she grows up. So to the 4 of you, congratulations on your Student of the Month. We are so proud of you. And thanks to PTSA for celebrating you, as well with gift cards and candy. This month, March Teacher of the Month goes to Mr. Gonzalez. Mr. Gonzalez, here's what students say about you. He has helped me so much in cross country and has always believed in me. He has made me so much better at running and always helps me talk about anything, no matter what it is. He is the best teacher anyone could ask for. Always there for our team during school and out of school, makes sure we're doing well and tries his best to help us be our best. He is a teacher who works hard and is patient but strong with his students while still teaching and giving a free environment. Mr. Gonzalez is a very hardworking teacher and coach. He teaches us things that will be valuable later in life. He is an amazing coach and always reminds each and every one of us that we have to be disciplined in order to get what we want and that we have to work for it. He does an amazing job for both. He is bold, he has humor, and he also pushes us in cross country and track so that we can be better. He always pushes me to be my best and believes in me no matter what. He always helps us with problems and lets us talk to him about anything. He has been my coach for 3 years and has always been very understanding and forgiving. Many of my teammates agree that he is always there for us and he is always working so hard to make sure things get done in time. He knows when he needs to be harder on us, but also when he needs to lighten up for us. I do not have him as an actual teacher, but I know many people who have had him or currently have him that would agree he is a very good teacher. Some may think he is harsh, but he knows when and where to discipline and when to relax. He's a good teacher in general. He's super nice and patient and helps anyone, no matter how small. Congratulations to Coach Gonzalez. Good job. And now I'm turning it over to Mr. Wayne.
Hello, everybody. All right, we are about to start our drawings for the month. So look at the fun prizes on there. All right. Shh. Thank you. So reminder real quick, the 3 things that get your name up there more than once even is every time you have 0 tardies in a week, no referrals in a month, and if you get a positive nomination from your teacher. So each time those things happen or don't happen, then you get your name in the spinny wheel. So we're gonna spin 5 just like we normally do, and hopefully this helps promote some positive school culture for the rest of the year. All right, we're ready. First one, Giovanni, congrats. Number 2, Gabriel Watson, congrats. Here's for number 3. Danielle Robertson, congrats. 2 more. Robert Jenkins, congrats. 1 more for this month. And Dharm Patel, congrats. Okay, congrats to all 5 of you. Whenever you head to lunch, those 5, just stop by the counseling office and you will get to pick your prize. Okay, it's also my honor to introduce our speaker for today. So I would like for all of your attention as I introduce them to you. Students, let me get your attention. Thank you. So today we have Genevieve Strickland joining us from the Morgan Nick Foundation. Morgan Nick Foundation is an organization based in Arkansas that is dedicated to preventing crimes against children and adults through programs that educate, empower, and unite families and communities. Today's presentation will focus on the importance of internet safety and how you can be aware of unsafe situations online to help guide you in positive and safe decision-making. Please give Ms. Strickland your full attention as we have the privilege to learn from her invaluable knowledge and compassionate perspective.
Hey, good morning. You guys awake? No? I know, it's a tough day, isn't it? As she said, my name is Genevieve Strickland, and I am the Assistant Director at the Morgan Nick Foundation. Raise your hand if you've heard of the Morgan Nick Foundation. A couple of you have. Do you know what we do? No? Does anybody know what we actually do there? What do we do? So we started back in 1995 because a 6-year-old little girl named Morgan Nick went one summer evening to watch a friend play baseball. And they went to a very small little field in a town called Alma, Arkansas. Have you guys heard Alma? So Alma, this is back in 1995, so none of you were even a thought yet. And in 1995, it was a very small town. It still is a small town, but it was even smaller. Everybody knew everyone. The ball field was across the street from the police station, very safe area. And while they were at the ball field, a couple of friends asked if Morgan could come play with them at just beside the field. And so her mother said she could, and she went, like I said, a couple of yards away. Parents could still see them, and they were chasing fireflies. And while they were doing that, Morgan was kidnapped. A huge investigation took place. It still takes place today. It is the largest investigation the state of Arkansas has ever known. But they've never found Morgan. That was 29 years ago. And so after that happened, Morgan's mom realized that Arkansas did not have organizations that worked with families that had missing or abducted children. We didn't have organizations that worked towards making sure that kids were safe and understood safety. And so she never wanted that to happen to another family, another child. And if it did, she wanted them to have resources and help to walk through that experience. And so she started the Morgan Nick Foundation. And that's actually what we do. We work with families that have missing or abducted children. We do a ton of education like this, coming to schools. We educate teachers. We educate law enforcement. We do a lot of training to help kids, families, schools, communities understand what it is to be safe as a kid in today's world. So let me ask you guys something. Do you think, raise your hand, do you think that missing kids, does this happen very much today like it did back then? Yeah, no. Somebody raise their hand and let me ask you, how many kids do you think this happens to a year? What do you think? 10,000. What do you think? 12,000. You think it happens to around 50,000? So I feel kind of like I'm on The Price is Right now. But yeah, 1 million. What do you think? 500. So every year here in the United States, that's just here in the U.S., not around the world, more than 800,000 children are reported missing every year. 800,000. So if you're not really great at math like I am, that's almost 1 million kids reported missing every year in the U.S., okay? That averages out to approximately 2,000 kids a day. So you guys think about that when you go home tonight and you lay in your bed. More than 2,000 kids have been reported missing today to the National Center for Missing or Exploited Children. And it's not just other places. Here in the state of Arkansas, we continually have at least 500 missing a day. Every day. So even if 2 go off that missing list, 2 more go on. So this is something that happens all over the world. It happens in the United States. It happens here in Arkansas. And what we need to understand is how this happens and what it looks like. Because the way that Morgan was kidnapped, that's actually kind of rare. And that's the kind of stuff we hear the most about. And it happens probably around 125 times a year that a child is kidnapped the way Morgan was. It's 125 times too many. But when you compare that to 800,000 kids that are reported missing every year, there's a huge problem going on. And you guys need to understand what that actually looks like so that you can be safe. So you guys are on the internet. every day, right? All day, every day, like most. What age do you think kids are today? Raise their hand when they get their first cell phone. What do you think? Hey, guys, you're going to have to be quiet unless I call on you because I can't hear. Yeah? 7 to 8. What do you think? 5. That's pretty young, huh? What do you think? Yeah. 10. What do you think back there? 6. So on average, guys, today's world, kids get their first cell phone at 4 to 5 years old. I'm glad that you guys think that's crazy, and I hope that you'll consider that when you have kids, because that's really young. And on average, 78% of all 3-year-olds are navigating the internet every day, regularly, the way that you guys do. And if you consider kids that have iPads, which you see a lot of little kids, 2 years old, 3-year-olds with iPads, right? Those are just great big cell phones. So really the age that kids get cell phones is probably even younger than that, okay? So the problem with that is, this is just a computer, right? Smartwatches, they're just small computers. And these computers are getting smaller every day. My husband is a computer engineer, and when he graduated, a computer was the size of this room. Yeah, that's how big computers were. And that was back around 1990. Now, a computer is a size of a watch or even smaller. So this technology has grown very quickly. It probably doesn't seem like it to you, but it has. This cell phone, this computer, this is 6 times greater technology than it took us to get to the moon. And we're handing this to 3-year-olds, 4-year-olds, but we're not really equipping them with the dangers that come with it or how to use it properly. I know you guys probably get a lot of conversations about internet safety and that kind of thing. So tell me, raise your hand and tell me, what do you think the real dangers are with the internet? Yeah. Pink, yeah. Talking to random people online? What do you think? In the pink hat. Predators? What do you think beside her? What? Pedophiles, okay. What do you think in the back? Kidnapping? What do you think? Do what? People in general, that's a pretty good statement. Here's the thing. Most people, adults and kids, when I ask that question, they think the biggest concern with the internet is people hacking you, people getting your private information, right? And that's concerning, your personal information. You guys have all been told not to give that out, right? Don't give out personal information. Don't talk to people online you don't know. Don't go to adult websites or inappropriate sites. You guys all know that. Here's the thing though, that is not your biggest concern. I can get anyone in this room, adult, kid, I can get all your information. It's not private. It is out on the internet all the time for anyone. I don't need you to tell me your name, age, birth date, cell phone number, address. I can easily get that. I can get the floor plan to your house. I can get your siblings' names, your parents' names, your mother's maiden name. I can get any information on you I want to get in a matter of minutes, even seconds. Anyone can, because that information is readily available on the internet. The real issue that you guys need to worry about is who is on the internet and why are they on there? Here's the thing. There is a lot of money to be made off of kids at your expense, at you getting hurt, at changing you for the rest of your life, and they don't care because there's a lot of money to be made off of you. We have predators, which someone said online. These predators are just like it sounds, like predators in the wild. You get a lion, and they're a predator searching for prey, and their prey is a gazelle. We have predators online, and their prey is you, kids, because they can make money on you. So they have access to all your information, any of it, whether you give it to them or not. There's so many ways they can find you. They can find out who you are and all your information. What they do is, you guys have all heard the term Facebook stalking, Insta stalking, right? You guys familiar with that? Oh, you are. Everybody knows about that. You want to know, hey, I think they broke up. And you start looking. Oh, who went to that party? And you start searching. And you can put together pretty much what's going on, right? These predators are doing that to you as well. They are stalking your social media. They are downloading your pictures you post. They are literally writing down facts about you. We have gone in and gotten predators who were online harassing kids, that kind of thing. And they weren't just doing this to one kid, they were doing it to 200 kids at the same time. And they had notes on them all. So when you post things like an innocent baseball picture, or even your parents post that, or a friend posts that, they jot that down. Oh, he plays baseball. When you post that picture of you on the beach in the summer, they jot that down, loves the beach. When you say something like, I'm so mad, I can't go to the game Friday night because I have to babysit my little brother, has a little brother. And they're keeping that information, and they've got files on 5,000 more kids that they're keeping information on. And they use that to relate and connect to you. So now when you get on social media or you're playing a game on live gaming, now they know the things you like, the things you do, and they can use that to relate to you and have a conversation with you and connect with you. And that's how they end up getting to you. So it's not a kidnap you with chloroform over your face and tie up your wrists and throw you in a little white van. It's always a white van, right? That happens. I don't want to minimize that. But most of the time, the way these kids end up getting involved with some predator that causes them harm is online. You can sleep in your own beds at night. You get up and come to school every day, and you don't even know that you're a target for a predator, or that someone around you has already been targeted by a predator, okay? So these predators, they search you out, they talk to you. That's why we say don't talk to people you don't know online. Because you're just giving them access on ways to connect with you. And when you do that, a lot of times what kids do then is these predators, like I said, there's money to be made. They may download a picture of you. And then they Photoshop disgusting things in that picture, and they turn it into an inappropriate picture. And then they sell that to other predators. And it's easy to say, well, I can just say it's not me. Looks like you. How are you going to prove it's not you? You can't. And now we've got AI where they can create an image of you, get a voice that's exactly your voice, and use that inappropriately. And again, how are you going to prove that's not you? So they do things like that, and they make money off of it. A lot of times they will end up having a relationship with you. Maybe they tell you that you are, they're a guy that goes to school at another school here in Fayetteville, and they're your age, and you talk to them long enough, and then they tell you that, you know, they want you to be your girlfriend or your boyfriend. And you do that, and then they ask you for an inappropriate photo. And it may start that they send you something inappropriate first. And they may talk to you about inappropriate things. They may be sending you photos. And you may not be doing anything. You may just be receiving this stuff and not sending it back. But when they do that, what they're doing is they're normalizing this for you. And eventually you get used to it and you don't think of it in the way that you just reacted. You're not grossed out. You're not like laughing and giggling. You just don't think anything of it anymore. Or maybe you've got older siblings and you know that they've sent inappropriate pictures or received them, and so you just think that's normal. So a lot of kids end up sending inappropriate photos. They think they're not going to get caught or nobody's going to know. This person lives a long way away. It won't ever matter. Nobody will see it but them. And what they do is then they use these photos and they blackmail you. We call it sextortion. And it's not just predators online that do that. It can be somebody in your own school that does that. It can be a boyfriend or a girlfriend in your school. It could be an adult in your family or a friend of the family that somehow gets a picture like that. Maybe they're pretending to be somebody else and you believe them. And then they use that picture and they blackmail you with it. And they might say something like, hey, I want more pictures like that. Or the picture I have is going to go all over the internet. I'll put it all over social media. I'll send it to your family and friends. Because remember, it's really easy to get all that information. And that's terrifying. And kids don't know what to do. And they may sell those pictures. Or they may want you to do other inappropriate acts, sexual acts, or something to keep from having that picture sent out. Or they may ask you for money. Hey, you're going to send me $50 on a gift card, or this picture is going to be sent to your family, your friends. It's going to go all over the internet. We had a kid here in Fayetteville that happened to, and the person online started telling him he needed $50 on a certain gift card mailed to him. And he did that, and then he came back and said, I need another $50 on a gift card, or I'm going to send this out. And he did it again. And this happened over and over for a while. And then the guy said, you know, now I need $100 on a gift card. And he kept raising the price, and this kid was terrified. And he got to where he was asking for $500. And this kid's like, I don't have this kind of money. So he stole his mom's credit card because he was terrified and didn't know how to make it stop. And finally, when the mom got her credit card bill, she saw what was going on and confronts him, and he had to come clean about what was happening. So this is something that happens here a lot. This is the number one issue that we have with kids and safety today. So you guys all know what sexting is, right? We just talked about it. It's where you send inappropriate pictures through technology. Did you know it's also words and language? It's not just pictures. It is inappropriate words and language that you are sending, texting, emailing, that kind of thing. That is also considered sexting. Do any of you know what Arkansas law says about sexting? Do you know? Why? Well, lots of things are traumatizing, but they're not illegal. Do you know why? You're getting closer, but no. Do you know? Exactly. It's considered child pornography, which we have now changed that language, and it's actually called CSAM, which stands for Child Sexual Assault Material. It's the same thing basically, but you can get in more trouble now. Child pornography, CSAM, is illegal. So if you are under the age of 18 and you have any kind of sexting material, or you know someone that has sexting material, you are required by law to turn that in. You have to tell an adult in authority. If you don't turn that in and you get caught, you can get a felony. A felony is pretty bad. That's going to stay with you the rest of your life. It's not going to come off your record when you turn 18. You have it now forever. And if you get a felony for this, you are then required to register as a sex offender for the rest of your life. We have had kids as young as 12. They have had sexting material, they have gotten a felony for it, and they have registered as sex offenders. It is illegal and it is considered extremely serious. You cannot do that. Not only can you not have it and do it, but if you know of someone else that has it, you're required to turn that in. Because if you don't, and it gets back that you knew about it, you can get a felony for that and have to register as a sex offender. That goes for everyone, adults, kids. You can't have that. So somebody sends you a sexting photo or conversation. You didn't ask for it, but they send it to you. Can you get in trouble for that? Yes. That is child pornography. It is illegal to delete it and not tell someone. You can get in trouble for that. If it is on your property, technically, a phone, laptop, anything like that, technically, law enforcement is required to destroy that technology. So take your iPhone 15 and destroy it. Take your new laptop and destroy it. That's legally what they are required to do. Okay? If you tell someone, you're not going to get in trouble. It needs to stop because these photos are getting out. And once they're out, you cannot get them back. You can't stop them. You can't delete them. They are out there forever, and they get forwarded and sold over and over and over for the rest of your life. And you never know where they're going to show up. And a big problem with this is now, as you guys become adults, businesses, universities, they now have people that are hired that their sole job is to search you out on the internet. And if they find anything that they don't approve of, they won't hire you or they won't let you into their university anymore. They don't want anything associated with them that could cause them harm, their business harm, their school a bad reputation, so they will not accept you anymore. It's causing a lot of problems for kids as they are growing up now in this technology. I guarantee you that every teacher here, their internet usage was searched, their social media was searched before they were hired and while they work here. Because they want to know that they're not doing anything inappropriate and cause harm to this school. That's what you guys are going to be dealing with. So this does not just affect today. This affects 20 years from today. The big things you have to think about is who you're talking to online. What kinds of things are you posting and sharing that gives information about you? Look at it this way. You guys would not go home tonight and open up your doors and windows and tell the entire town of Springdale, hey, anyone that wants to come live here, you're welcome to come. Stay at my house, right? Nobody's going to do that. When you go to bed at night, I bet your parents lock your doors. I bet your windows are locked to keep their family safe. You don't just open it up to the world and say, hey, come live here. When you're on the internet, that is virtually what you're doing. You are telling anyone in the world to come in and learn about who I am, what I do, and use that against me. So you have to be careful with what you're posting, what you're saying, what you're doing. Make sure all your passwords are protected. Make sure your privacy settings are set and check them often. Be careful when you're sending photos, posting photos. You know, our Attorney General posts every year in May. Please be careful with what you're posting online this summer, because these predators are just looking for pictures that they can turn into something really disgusting so they can sell them. And the worst case scenario is that they use this information and they end up trafficking you. Okay? Trafficking, something people talk about a lot, but rarely understand what it looks like in our area. Guys, within the next few years, Northwest Arkansas will be the capital of sex trafficking in the world. That's how prevalent it is here now. And it doesn't look like kids who are kidnapped and thrown in cars and sold in some other country. It looks like you guys here at school every day. You go home, you sleep in your beds at night, and you get up and come to school, and no one knows that you're being trafficked. Because typically, it's a blackmail situation. Or it's someone in authority over you that's forcing you to do things. That's what trafficking looks like. Selling photos of you, that's trafficking. Selling you, whether it's for money, for goods, for whatever, that's trafficking. You don't have to be tied up and sold somewhere. You can live at home and go to school and still be trafficked. And that's the number one cause of why kids end up missing today in the U.S., here in Arkansas. So be careful with what you're doing. I know we're out of time. I appreciate your letting me talk. I hope you guys stay safe when you use the internet and make good choices.
Thank you so much for our guest, Ms. Genevieve, coming to speak with us today and giving us some insight into things that we need to be watching out for and very cautious of. At this time, we are going to dismiss, but before we dismiss, real quick, I know that this week is fun and we're dressing up and it's exciting, but we also still have to have school. So make sure that you don't ruin Spirit Weeks for the rest of the year, the next year, by not acting in a way that is appropriate in school. Be respectful of each other and be respectful of your teachers and your classmates and your classrooms or spaces to ensure that we get to have fun and do things like this. I feel a little bit of a heightened in the air, so just make sure that you're really checking yourself and ensuring that we get to continue to do this, because if we can't handle it as a 6th, 7th, 8th grade body of Don Tyson, then we won't get to have these fun things, okay? All right, I want the top right to dismiss to the top and out, the bottom right to dismiss to the side door, please.